Hi guys, this is The Ordinary Man, Step by Step, episode 14. So I'll just start again maybe today, as a quick overview of what this is all about, what this podcast is all about. So really what I've been trying to do is set up a business called Property Basecamp over the last, I suppose, let's say the guts of a year now. And really what this podcast is really all about is just documenting that process, that step-by-step process of what I'm doing to try and set up this business. So again, it's not to provide any advice or wisdom because I don't have it. It's literally just documenting the process from on a daily basis, what I'm doing, what I'm not doing. It might be right, might be wrong, who knows, and just I suppose the things that I'm learning myself along the way. So that's really the gist of the podcast. Got a lot more feedback, I suppose, from the last one, which is great. So if you can spread the word to your friends, colleagues, etc., that would be great. All help is obviously very much appreciated. The more attention that I can get, hopefully, the more attention that means I can get for the business, and so on and so forth. So that's the general gist of it. So really, what have we been up to the last couple of days? I suppose from midweek until I suppose Wednesday, Thursday were very frustrating days. I suppose I've noticed the last couple of weeks that we're getting less and less feedback from prospective clients that we've spoken to before, just clients that we're waiting just to set up meetings with, who have actually asked us for meetings and agreed to meetings, and we're just struggling to get them set up. And I suppose that sort of gets at you, because sometimes you feel that you've that little bit of momentum when everything's going well and everybody's agreeing to meetings and you're getting meetings set up, and then other days it's just tough. It is just a grind, so it can be very tough. I do find it tough sometimes to not to keep motivated, but it is just tough when it feels like not much is happening on a certain day. So Wednesday and Thursday were very much a lot of that. We've got we got contacted a while ago by a company who are a huge technology company. They're looking to hire probably 600, probably a little bit less than that now, I think, but they announced recently that they were going to hire 600 new employees by the end of the year. A lot of them are going to be for relocations of employees, because a lot of the jobs they're hiring for are inside sales jobs with different languages needed. So the managing director of this company actually contacted me, and which is great, obviously, and he had invited me for a meeting, a lunch meeting with himself, the director of sales for their European operations, and the director of HR. I think that's their titles, and that was great. Obviously, delighted. Then I went back to them to finalise basically the date for when they're hoping to do that, and it's turned out that it's going to be the middle of August. So obviously it's great that I'm getting a meeting with these guys. It's just interesting, like how long we'll have to wait, I suppose, to get that. So but that's good. At least, like, they're obviously interested in working with us. So that's just what it is like, sort of, at the minute. And I think another part of it has been that it's just been the end of the financial year. So literally, people, I suppose, are very busy just focusing on budget. People don't really know, I suppose, what, from a departmental side of things, what budgets they have yet. So I think that's part of it as well. So that was really it. So that was how Wednesday and Thursday, I suppose, of this week were frustrating. And and it got me in a bit of a glut, I suppose, to try and, do I need to rethink the strategy of trying to get into the room with these people? And at the end, I did sort of went back to square one. One of the things we've obviously been trying to do is target the huge companies that are based here in Dublin. And obviously they're the ones that are more difficult to get into the room with. Which we have been doing, but it's just it's been tough. And obviously, as that example that I just gave, I'm not going to get into the room with them until August. So I've had a bit of a rethink, and we did go back to the agents and asked them, like, look, what does it matter if it's not the huge companies, or what exactly is the kicker for you guys? What are you looking for? And the feedback that I got was, as corporate and business professionals in general are generally their best tenants. So what I've done is gone back to square one. There was an infographic that went out a couple of months ago that showed all the technology companies based in Dublin. So what I've done is I've looked at that infographic, and basically wrote a list of companies that I want to try and target, and they're probably, I suppose, dare I say, a level below the ones that we have been, but not necessarily in the way they do their work, and nothing like that, just in regards to size and, I suppose, brand. So we've listed them. We've probably got a list of about 40 of these companies now that I want to try and target, and I've actually narrowed it down to the first 5 that I want to target. So really that was me going back to, I suppose, square one. So that's first of all to identify the companies that I want to target. Then the second part of that is what you have to do, what are you trying to do to target them, and then the third part is how you'll do it. So that's really the approach that I'm going to take. So that was Thursday, really going back to the square one. So I'll go into next week, I suppose, with a good plan of attack, and I suppose good mindset again of what I'm trying to do, and the approach that we're trying to take to get into the room with these guys. So again, what I have to do is, and what something that we definitely do try to do, is think long term. Like, there's no point in contacting these guys just out of the blue and saying, "Hi, this is Tommy from Property Base Camp. Oh, we can provide your employees rental accommodation." Most of them don't even get read; they get chucked in the bin. So I suppose it's about building up relationships. I suppose that the best platforms, again, as I keep saying, is the likes of LinkedIn. So any posts that they're looking at, any posts that they're sharing, that they're liking, see if you can make some sort of connection that way. Provide some sort of input on their on posts that they do be making, and again, just build up that sort of natural connection, and try and make it meaningful. Don't be saying you're interested in an article, or if I didn't even read the article. So it's just patience is required, I suppose. But I'd be lying to you if I wasn't sort of worried about the financial side of things, and the fact that it's been, like, obviously I've been out of work for a long time, and there is that little bit of strain there. But again, I can't let them decisions feed into the decisions with the clients that we're trying to talk to, because let's be honest, they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit of how long you've been unemployed or anything like that. So they don't care about your own financial situation. They're just cared about their own. So that's the balancing act. So that's probably from the financial side. Again, just finishing today. I skipped forward from yesterday, but today I'm just finishing off the I have to provide a copy of a business plan and a couple of other application forms for our priming grant application to the government. So that would be a big relief, I suppose, if we were to get that money to help us a long way for another month or two. So that's just, I try to do the likes of that stuff at the weekends, because obviously people are out of work then and they're not in the office and things like that, so they're not necessarily paying attention. There's no point in emailing them or doing anything like that. So but yesterday I suppose was a better day. So again, we get contacted via our website, a company who provide consultancy and professional services for tenants and landlords. So what they basically do is they in the context of what we do is they would review tenancy agreements. So say a tenant wants a certain property, the property agency writes up tenancy agreement. At that point, then this company would review the tenancy agreement to see if it suits the tenant, because obviously tenants, us as tenants, we don't really know, I suppose, the ins and outs of the agreements or the loopholes that may be in them. So they'll do that, and so that's one part of what they do. And then also, if there's disputes that arise within during a tenancy period, they'll resolve them. They'll sit and resolve them between the landlords and property agencies and the tenants themselves. So met with them. Again, can't really say names yet. Had a good chat. Initially, it was supposed to be an hour meeting, lasted 2 hours. Then, very, very interesting character. Very property. He's a property background as well as a technology background, which is I suppose is the perfect storm. And he's actually working on his own startup company as well. So that's fairly interesting. So there is possibility there for us to work together. We actually lost out on a large company last Friday, because this type of service wasn't something that we offer. So obviously we're building an application at the end of the day, and we don't tend to do any of the manual sort of hand holding stuff like local relocation agents would do, like taking employees to viewings and doing tenancy agreements, etc. But we might be able to offer this as part of our overall package, and then just outsource it to this consultancy firm that we met. So that was really good, really interesting. Just waiting on, they're going to send a proposal across. I'll have a read and have a chat with the lads and the team and see what we think. Other than that, and then yesterday evening we've got an email from a prospective client that are not necessarily out of the blue, but we've been trying to get talking to them for a while now, and they want to meet next week, which is great. So that was another, that always gives a good little bit of a lift, I suppose, going into the weekend and into next week. So we've a lot planned for next week. So that's really it. Again, as I said, got really good feedback from numerous people just on the last podcast. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. From a personal point of view, I've stupidly decided to enter into my first triathlon. So that's taking place in September. So I've never done it before. I wouldn't be the best of swimmers now, to be brutally honest. So I had my first training session on a Wednesday Thursday with swimming, and then we did altitude training yesterday. So that's going to get interesting. It's going to get really interesting actually over the next couple of weeks and months. The triathlon's the 3rd of September. Before then I have friends' stags and weddings and a few other leaving parties and things like that I'm going to have to get through, because I've decided to go teetotal before the triathlon, just to give myself a chance of surviving and completing it. So that's that really. And that's really it. That's all for this episode. So as always, thanks again for listening, for you guys are listening. Really appreciate if you could, I suppose, share it or like it and get it across to your friends again. I think it's hopefully a very interesting concept for people, because it'll, as the name suggests, the ordinary man, it'll show that if you work hard enough, hopefully in a couple of years' time, if this is successful, we can look back and see that if I can do it, anybody can do it. So thanks again, guys. Have a lovely weekend. Hope if you're in Ireland, hope you're enjoying the sun. Take care. Bye.